Taking things personally is one of the most draining emotional patterns. A small comment can feel like criticism. A neutral tone can sound like rejection. A delayed reply can feel like someone is upset with you. Even casual interactions can feel heavier than they should. You tell yourself, I know they didn't mean it that way, so why does it still hurt? You try to shake it off, but the emotion stays. It lingers, echoes, grows. If this happens to you, there is nothing wrong with you. You're not too sensitive. You're not dramatic. And you're not imagining things. There are real psychological reasons why your mind interprets neutral situations as personal. And once you understand those reasons, you can begin to respond differently, with more clarity, calm, and confidence. Let's explore this gently. Your brain is always scanning for meaning, and it's especially sensitive to social cues, tone, facial expressions, silence, wording. When your brain doesn't have clear information, it tries to fill in the blanks. But here's the key. Your brain fills in the blanks using your past experiences, not the present moment. So, if you've been ignored, criticized, misunderstood, judged harshly, or made responsible for other people's emotions, your brain may interpret even neutral signals as threats, not because you're imagining danger, but because your nervous system has learned to detect emotional risks quickly, sometimes too quickly. Taking things personally isn't an overreaction. It's a learned vigilance, a way your mind tries to keep you emotionally safe. Under every, I think they're upset with me, there is a deeper fear. What if I lose connection? Humans are wired for connection. Emotionally, psychologically, neurologically. And when connection feels unstable or uncertain, the brain reacts fast. Common fears include fear of being disliked, fear of being misunderstood, fear of upsetting someone, fear of rejection, fear of conflict, fear of losing closeness with someone important. Taking things personally is your mind saying, if I notice the problem early, I can fix it before I'm hurt. Your system tries to stay one step ahead, even if there's no real danger. This is not weakness, it's attachment anxiety, noticing patterns from the past and projecting them onto the present. Taking things personally almost always begins in environments where 1. Emotions were unpredictable. If you didn't know how caregivers or important people would react, your nervous system learned to scan for warning signs. 2. You had to manage other people's feelings. If you grew up emotionally responsible for others, you learned, if they're upset, it's my job to fix it. 3. Criticism was harsh or frequent. Even gentle comments can now feel like attacks because old wounds are touched. 4. You felt unseen, misunderstood, or invalidated. Your mind learned to fill in silence with self-blame. 5. Love or approval felt conditional. Your brain became hyper-focused on signs of rejection. 6. You became the peacekeeper. If you had to avoid conflict, your system still tries to prevent it, even when nothing is wrong. None of this is your fault. These patterns formed when you were trying to stay safe, and the brain holds on to safety strategies until something replaces them. 3 ways to start the process for taking things less seriously. These are not just stop caring tricks. They are ways to calm your nervous system so your mind can interpret situations more clearly. 1. Ask yourself, what story is my mind telling me right now? Usually, the emotion isn't about the situation. It's about the meaning your mind adds. Examples. Their tone means they're disappointed in me. If they didn't respond yet, they must be upset. They looked away. I must have annoyed them. But these are not facts. They're predictions based on the past. By naming the story, you separate what happened from what your mind added. This simple separation eases emotional pressure. 2. Ground your body before reacting. When a comment or silence feels personal, your body reacts instantly. Your chest tightens, your stomach drops, your breath changes. This is the moment to ground. Try. Slow breath in and out, relaxing your jaw, dropping your shoulders, feeling your feet on the floor. When your body calms, your interpretation softens because your nervous system no longer sees danger. 3. Ask a powerful question. Is this about me, or is this about them? Sometimes people are quiet, distracted, tired, stressed, or overwhelmed. Their tone or expression has nothing to do with you. But when you've been trained to be hyper-aware, your mind interprets everything as a reflection of your worth. This question creates space. Maybe they're having a hard day. Maybe they're lost in thought. Maybe they didn't notice their tone. Maybe it really has nothing to do with you. You stop being the center of the threat, and the situation becomes neutral again. Taking things personally isn't a flaw. It's a protective pattern. A strategy your mind learned in moments where you had to stay alert to stay emotionally safe. But you're not in those moments anymore. You can build inner safety. You can respond instead of react. And you can slowly teach your system that connection doesn't have to be constantly protected. If you want more videos like this about your emotions, your patterns, and your inner world, subscribe to Mindful Depth. Together, we'll understand your mind, one layer at a time.